Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the 18th annual Chain of Giving event at the Greater Boston Food Bank.
18, and I've been in all of them. I know.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cheryl Shondek. I am the Chief Operating Officer here at the Food Bank, and I am honored that so many of you are here with us today. We cannot do it without your support, so welcome. We have a wonderful program for you. We are going to get started as I introduce our outstanding President and CEO, Catherine D'Amato.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's great to see you. Thanks, Cheryl. Thank all of you. This is just an amazing, witness of all the people that help us. I could look around the room, and every single one of you has done something to advance food security in our state. And it is, a holiday season. It's the 18th year. I can't believe I came to the food bank when I was 12, and so did all of these other folks. But I do want to thank our government officials today, Governor Healey, State Treasurer Deb Goldberg, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. We have many state reps here, Representative Rob Consalvo, Representative Chris Worrell, Representative San Matano, Representative Jim Hawkins, Representative John Moran, Representative James Arena DeRosa, who was a food banker in a past life and the head of USDA, so now he's a politician. State Representative Brandy Flucker, Boston City Council Michael Flaherty, we wish you well, Michael, and Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox. We have representatives from MDAR, that's our agriculture commission that we work with closely across the state. Want to thank Commissioner Randall for being here. There's a lot of food that comes through the state legislature, and we work closely with them on that initiative. And we also have Commissioner McHugh and our friends at the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office and our Newmarket Business Improvement District, which is our neighbor. And of course, behind me, despite that politicians also get a lot of credit, there are these very substantial characters. Wally from the Red Sox. Pat the Patriot, and Blades from the Bruins, and I did ask the governor, she said, where's the Celtics? And I said, I know you're a basketball person. I know we failed you on that. Next year, I promise, front and center. But lucky, we couldn't get him here today, but we will get him next year. So I also just want to thank our sponsors. You know that money is a very important thing that allows us to keep operating and keep going. So today, our presenting sponsor is AMG, Affiliated Managers Group. They were with us last year. Thank you so much. They're a leading partner to independent active investment management firms around the world. We're happy to have you. And then also want to thank and recognize National Grid as our sponsor as well. National Grid is a leading energy provider of gas and or electricity to 242 cities and towns. Many of them are the towns we serve. So we share a lot in common with National Grid relative to fundamental and foundational things like food, housing, and energy in terms of staying warm this winter. Journalists and media, we welcome you. We always love to see you, but please come back when all these folks are not here. So you can continue to tell the great stories that you have told to keep the issue of food insecurity and homelessness and why it's so important to take care of 1.8 million residents in our state find themselves struggling with where they're going to get their next meal. So we thank you for that. Also, a big, huge thanks to our donors. This is turkey time, this is holiday time. These are the foods that you see in front of you. These items are donated. These foods are free to all of the agencies within the 9 counties and 190 cities and towns. Think about that. It's $110 million this last 12 months that just went out. So to our donors, please, it's alphabetical. We love you all, but it is alphabetical. Amazon Whole Foods, Big Y, BJ's Wholesale, B&B Trading, C&S Wholesale, Decca's Cranberry Group, the Goldberg Foundation, Hannaford Brothers, Levitt Corporation, Teddy Peanut Butter, Market Basket, New England Food Brokerage, Paul Wahlberg, Price Right, Richard Broccoli Associates, Roach Brothers, Shaw and Star Market, Stop and Shop, Swilinski Potato Farms, Table Talk Pies, De Silva Produce, Target, Turlet Produce Company, Walmart, and Wegmans. Huge thanks. I want to thank you for coming today. We can't do it without you, from financial help to food to in-kind services to our ability to have volunteers. And again, come back. We love you. We need you. It is a critical historical time in our country around need. Families are struggling, and they're deeply struggling. While the pandemic is over, their situation is not. Lastly, I want to recognize Team GBFB is here. You'll see all of us in some kind of logo or swag, but just want to thank them for what they do every day. They're silent heroes and sheroes. They do so much every single day to receive food, store food, move food, make sure all of those individuals across 190 cities and towns get the food they need. So huge thanks to Team GBFB and our volunteers as well. Together, as I've said, this is what this event is about. It's coming together, working together, helping each other, pulling up forward. It's often to begin to think about Thanksgiving. It's 2 weeks from today, and if you want to come back and move more turkeys, you are more than welcome. Together, all of you in this room represent this chain of giving, a human chain. What this does today is give you the visibility of how many people it takes to make this happen. And we're often further back. The 600 agencies we work with are sort of the retailers. But if I asked you, where does Stop and Shop get all its food? You probably don't know. Or where does Shaw and Star, all of our retailers, get their food? But you know the retailer. You're going to know the agency. We also want to thank the community that works with us. So many agencies, so many important people. And there's no doubt that families are struggling, and this is where we need you to stay with us. Look, we know hunger is no longer an emergency. Think about that. It's no longer an emergency. It's a daily experience for too many of our neighbors across this state, and that's why we have to stay here. We have the power to end this in our state. And I've said this to the governor, I've said it to the mayor, I've said it to the treasurer, I'll say it to anybody who will listen, I'll say it to all of you. We have the power to end it. It's in our capacity. It's in our system, whether it's policy or collaboration. So as we go through this season, I want to say to you, well, there's joyfulness. Some people are going to be sitting at a meal and some people are not. But I still have hope. Hope is something that I haven't given up on. And there's a lot to be hopeful for. School meals passed in our state. $150 million, which guarantees children will eat. That is awesome. That gives me hope, and I want to thank you for that. And Senator Domenico, I want to thank you for your leadership on that to make that happen. Now, when you deal with policy, what's important is you don't have to go back to the legislature next year and ask for another $150 million. It's now done. That means children will eat. So that gives me hope. Seeing you here today gives me hope. Listening to folks who have lived experience say to me, like Deborah, life is about compassion, understanding, and kindness. You give back what you give. That's all of you. Deborah gives me hope. I just can't thank you enough from this point to be able to say, from MEFAP, from the state legislature, to the governor's office, to all of you, to the advocates, to the donors. If we put all this together, you can see how unique the Greater Boston Food is. It takes an organization of this size and magnitude to be able to facilitate what you do for everyone. We're here to help you get that food into community. 6 days a week, starting at 4 a.m. every day, 140 to 150 people, 90 million healthy meals, all of that going to your communities. So it takes an organization and it takes an operation of this size. That's why I have hope. We're not going anywhere. We're here to fight. We're here to use the power we have to empower others as well to end hunger. So I want to thank you for that. I want to just appreciate you show up, appreciate that you act, and my pleasure now is to introduce Governor Healey.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, Catherine, for the incredible work that you do for really laying out what today is all about, because it's not just about today, it's about 365 days a year. And I really want to recognize the team at Greater Boston Food Bank for the work that you do day in and day out, changing lives and the trajectory of families across this state. So big shout out to Team GBFB. I love this event because it's a chance to come together with so many amazing people and partners. That includes our partners in government. It's great to be with Treasurer Goldberg and Mayor Wu. We're joined today by members of our new administration. This is our first time here as a team. So ask Shirley Randall and the team at MDAR who are out there every day. We appreciate it. Jeff McHugh, Department of Transitional Assistance, and we have others among us who are here who are all part of the chain that Catherine speaks of. We're going to recognize in a little bit our amazing student award winners who always give us hope, the students every year, for their incredible vision and persistence. And it's wonderful to see so many colleagues in government, in the legislature here as well, and city councilors. Today is a wonderful event. I caught my breath when you said that Thanksgiving is just 2 weeks away. We have a lot of work to do, but the holidays are indeed right around the corner. And that really puts into focus the needs of some of our most vulnerable residents. Massachusetts is a great state. It's the greatest state in the country for so many reasons. And one of those reasons is the compassion and what people have the capacity to bring to bear here, working together in partnership. And that's certainly what's happened when it comes to addressing issues of hunger and food insecurity. And Catherine, you are absolutely right. We need to end hunger and food insecurity once and for all. We need to work to make sure that no child, no person in this great state wakes up hungry, goes to bed hungry. It's as simple as that. So thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for the work that I know we're going to continue to do going forward. Because 1 in 3 folks in Massachusetts do experience food insecurity, over 30% of our residents. And the numbers are compounded, of course, by inequities: 61% of Latino residents, 50% of Black residents, 45% of LGBTQ residents struggled at some point last year to put food on the table. That is the reality here in Massachusetts. That's the goal of our affordability agenda. It's why we worked with our partners, yes, to make breakfast, lunch free permanently in schools for every child in the state. It's why we made community college free for everybody 25 years old and older. It's why we invested $500 million to expand childcare and better pay our early education workforce. And we cut taxes for families and seniors. We now have the most generous universal child tax credit in the entire country. So good work and more to be done. Hunger, we know, is bound up with so many critical issues that we're facing: housing costs, health disparities, learning loss, chronic illness. And that's why we take a government-wide approach to this, and it's why we take a community-wide approach to all of this. In Massachusetts, thanks to the leadership of Catherine and the team at GBFB, we are a national leader when it comes to food policy. And the important thing here is today is not only a day to come together, and it's great to see our sports teams represented, because really this is about Team Massachusetts. And I excuse Lucky because they got to get on track and go out and beat Brooklyn tomorrow. It's okay. But this is Team Massachusetts, right, at its best. And what my hope is that after we're done passing turkeys, that we really move forward from today with a spirit of commitment and collective action on addressing this need. As Catherine said, it is something that we can fix, we can do. and we can do great things here in this state. So that's the spirit of today. Thank you for convening, and let's do everything that we can to make sure that the most vulnerable among us, recognizing that any one of us could find ourselves vulnerable at some particular point, that our charge is to make sure we always look after the most vulnerable among us. We lift them up, we take care of them, we bring them along. That's how we do things in Massachusetts. Happy Thanksgiving season to everyone.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Governor Healey and the team, and we appreciate your principles of determination and affirmation and the possibility and inclusion from these cornerstones of practice and policies. We're with you. This is tough, but we can do it. We're a small state compared to other states, so it's completely something we can accomplish. And I'd like to welcome to the podium Mayor Wu, but before I do, I want to thank you for your commitment to the team at the Office for Food Justice. They've been great partners with us, and I also want to thank you for recent policy decisions for our neighborhood, and we thank you for caring for those who need help in whatever form that they need help, and we appreciate that. So please welcome Mayor Wu.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Catherine, for your leadership. Thank you to everyone for being part of this. It's always wonderful to see the warehouse packed full, and hello to all the folks on the top deck up here, too. Thank you for what you do. In many ways, this event, the Chain of Giving, marks the start of the holiday season, and it is the embodiment of all of us coming together to recognize our connection, that we each have a part to play. I'm thankful to be here with such incredible leaders who are up here on stage representing our, of course, our teams and major franchises who do so much in the community, and of course our amazing governor and her administration and treasurer. Thank you for being such incredible partners in the work that we do. And I know that they've been recognized already, but I want to just do the rundown because we love our partners at the State House in Boston. You all are fighting for our residents with every possible tool and every possible policy, and we see you in the work at the State House, but also out in community. So thank you to State Representative John Moran and Brandy Fluker-Oakley, Sam Montano, Chris Worrell, and I didn't realize about Rep. Arena Rosa's past life in food, but thank you for all that you do from us in Boston as well.
Yeah.
That sense of connection and all of us having a part to play is especially necessary as we start this holiday season, because as we lean into it with our own families, it's also a time for far too many Boston families and Massachusetts families that it actually brings on more stress and uncertainty about how we put food on the table at this time of year and year-round. In Boston, the numbers are even more intense. 1 in 5 of our residents are experiencing food insecurity. As stated, disproportionately impacting communities of color, and we know that this leads to all of the health impacts, the challenges as we look to rebuild our communities and our economy. This is at the very core of whether people can give their families what they need. We're committed to not only ending these disparities, but joining in the leadership here to end hunger and food insecurity for all of our residents and families. This very space, the warehouse, is the heart of the Greater Boston Food Bank's ongoing fight against hunger. And food pantries across the city are the arteries delivering nourishment to meet the needs we're seeing increase across Boston. This year, it's been a 12% rise in the number of people served by the Greater Boston Food Bank and their food pantry partners. And we have been proud to work together to start to eliminate some of the impossible choices that families are facing. Buying groceries or making rent, keeping the lights on or refilling a prescription. No one should be put in those situations. Food is a basic human right, and we know that it has ripple effects benefiting all of us when all of our neighbors are healthy, happy, and nourished. Our Office of Food Justice has a plan partnering with organizations across the city to decrease food waste and increase food security, to add more food forests and gardens in our neighborhoods and schools, to feed the young people and families who help them flourish, because hunger is not an issue that anyone or any organization can tackle alone. We are working together with the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fund and provide resources to nearly 70 food pantries across the city, feeding nearly 50,000 people every month. And this year, we provided an additional $100,000 in our federal funding to ensure that there's enough food from Boston to meet the growing needs of our families. For those looking to help out this holiday season, the Office of Food Justice and Civic Organizing are sharing volunteer opportunities as part of our Nourish Our Neighbors initiative. Boston is blessed to have so many incredible organizations fighting food insecurity and expanding food access across our neighborhoods, and we want all of our residents to know about all the ways that you can pitch in and lend a hand to make sure that, especially during this busy holiday season and year-round, you can get involved. That could be helping to sort, pack, or deliver groceries, to rescue or serve food, or to get healthy, fresh meals to our community. We need everyone to be involved in that. Finally, highlighting the difference that any individual person can make, and especially when we find ways to bring our own networks together into the cause, I want to close by acknowledging some of the incredible young people who are leading the way in that effort. Time now?
Please.
Okay. So this year's NALI Award recipients are a very special group of bakers from the Boston Latin School.
Woo! Yay!
I want to welcome up Ita, Neve, and Laura, who started baking cookies and other treats after selling them after school last year. But they realized that they didn't need the money that they were making as much as other people might. And so with the help of their teacher, Mr. Andy Zoe, where's Mr. Zoe? Come on up, Mr. Zoe.
Hi, Andy.
They decided to donate the more than $1,000 that they'd made to the Greater Boston Food Bank. They call themselves Cookies for a Cause, and they've got more sale dates planned in the future to aim for doubling what they raised last year. So on the behalf of the entire city of Boston and everyone here, I want to thank Ita, Neve, and Laura, as well as the Greater Boston Food Bank and all of your volunteers for making sure that we are doing what we can so no family goes hungry this holiday season.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much.
Did you want to say anything?
You guys want to say anything? Neve? You want to ask?
You don't. Cheryl, you're coming back, but they might want to say something.
Yes, absolutely.
We just want to thank the Greater Boston Food Bank for this opportunity. We never thought that baking in our homes would lead us to such a stage. And we would like to thank the BLS community and our family and friends, and of course, Mr. Zhao.
Thanks, Neve.
Wow, wow, wow.
I'm so sorry, I missed Echo too.
And we have another student who has also supported Echo. Thank you so much.
Another one.
And as Catherine mentioned, this does give us hope in our support to end hunger here. So I want to thank the governor, I want to thank the mayor, I want to thank these amazing students who support the mission at the Greater Boston Food Bank. Thank you. So are you ready? Are you ready? We are about to unload a truckload of turkeys. So I'm going to go through some of the instructions.
I bet I know them.
I want everyone to form 2 lines from door number 8. Carl, raise your hands. All the way down to the freezer on both sides of the aisle.